popcorn. We are two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me. And Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo.
Hey folks, your host Brandon Collins.
Guys, and it's Justin Brown.
And we're here with another edition of the Medium Popcorn Niggas Spoil the Movie. Yeah. And we got a special guest. He hasn't been on for quite some time. We're very happy to have him back. Mr. JL Cauvin.
Hey guys. I've obviously lost my podcasting touch.
I do this retrospect, man. I still tell people that's like one of the most honest comedy podcasts that was ever out there. You talked about shitty road gigs, you talked about fakeness in comedy. You also threatened people that had you blackballed from comedy clubs using a gladiator reference, which is one of the funniest things I've ever heard about.
Was that the time for honoring yourselves will soon be at an end?
Yes.
Okay.
You said in this life or the next.
Yes!
You were just so upset that your kids got canceled. So funny.
Yeah, I would just say the only correction I make to that intro is when you said one of. The most honest. Like a lot of things whenever somebody tries to say, you have one of the best Trump impressions, I go, no, I don't.
The best,
Yeah,
son of a bitch.
that's
Don't
it.
fuck with me.
No, but we have. Fortunately, comedy has no shortage of honesty because there's like tons of bro comics who shake their fist at PC culture and jerk each other off in like a circle. I think it's called a circle jerk. I love those guys. Those guys that the sort of they think they're Goodwill Hunting, but they're really just fucking idiots who do comedy.
They think they're good, well, they're actually Ben Affleck's character.
Yeah, who does like open mics, and then maybe he got a manager and has achieved some financial success, but will leave zero imprint on the art or the stand-up world. I'm sorry, but this is about movies, right? You mentioned right.
Well, it's technically it's about careers. It's actually pretty interesting because like in this movie, it's about Leonardo DiCaprio's character. He's a fading star. I think it's so interesting that Quentin Tarantino took two of our most likable actors and essentially made them losers. Like Brad Pitt, we followed him for like a good 20 minutes driving and feeding his dog like werewolf, like dog chow. Yeah. Which actually, it's such a great, he's so good at the detail, because the detail of the can, where it's like, this is for wild dogs and shit, comes into play once the dog gets to help. And fucking the last act.
Spoiler.
Dude.
Well, that's what
Spoiler.
we did. Spoiler movie.
That was a spoiler.
No, like, it's a long movie. It's 3 hours of previews. I don't know how long it was when you guys saw it. There's a lot of fucking previews.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we talk, okay, first of all, can we talk about movie theater etiquette for a second?
Well, we're good as every fucking
Justin
week.
and I have been doing this
Okay.
a lot lately. It's summer, and so a lot of people do movies. Do people not know that a fucking Tarantino movie is just going to be all dialogue?
I don't know what people know anymore. I don't think people know anything.
There was a guy sitting next to us who had the biggest iPhone you could possibly get, besides the iPad, the highest brightness, and took it out. After the first 20 minutes, him and his girl clearly didn't know what they were getting into, and he just every 5 minutes kept taking it out, looking at the phone. He would have answered the phone if the movie theater hadn't been packed out. And it's like, this is 3 fucking hours. Like, what are you doing?
It makes me sad because the movies, to their credit, they try to make the announcements, and people just don't. I mean, it's gotten worse, and I always want to say, like, why are you at a movie? My question is just, why? You've seen people sometimes who are just like on their phone constantly. I'm like, you're not a fucking doctor. Like, you're not on call. What the fuck are you doing? And it's just like, why are you here? It's okay. If you don't want to be in a movie, that's...
Watch your shit at home.
Yeah, that's
Just fucking bootleg it. If that's what you're gonna do,
Right.
you're not gonna watch it halfway anyways. Why pay for it? It's
Yeah.
expensive for that
I
shit.
don't get it. These two old women, I don't know if you saw the picture I posted on Twitter, these two old women were at the movie sitting near me, and they left like an hour in. Once again, I don't care, fine, you don't like the movie, it's your right, but they left what looked like the amount of snacks and rubbish of like a family of 8. Like popcorn spilled on the seat, like ice cream. I was like, how did you get through all that in the hour? You think it was like a popcorn, 2 sodas, ice cream, like some other tray of food, and like a bunch of napkins, like just on. And I was like, I don't know what. People are terrible.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done.
It's getting bad, man. It's getting really bad. It's making me like just
Again, Lion King. Let's go watch what Lion King. The movie is starting. All that bullshit is going on. This woman stands up, walks to the aisle in front of her, where her kids are like 4 kids are sitting, and then turns on the flash to take a picture of these little pieces of garbage sitting in their seats, and they're sitting there smiling at the camera. I'm just like, seriously? You couldn't have done this before the movie started? Yeah. Seriously? You couldn't even have done that before the movie fucking started? This is when it's the time.
The cell phone, I think I may have said this on my now deceased podcast. I think the cell phone, it belongs with like the atomic bomb as one of the worst inventions in mankind's history. I'm not talking about the internet or computers, but the cell phone and all that they've been able to manipulate people with. Because now it's just, I think the line in Jumanji that Jack Black had was fantastic when he just said, I feel like since my cell phone died, or since I lost my cell phone, my other senses have gotten better. I just thought that was like a perfect way of framing it.
Well, I think that's what I appreciate about this movie. Like, even though it's like an all-white cast, and
And Bruce Lee.
the bootleg Bruce
Oh,
Lee.
we're not counting model minorities anymore?
Yeah.
POCs.
But
They made their decision with that Supreme Court case.
what I appreciate about Quentin Tarantino movies is always the dialogue and just like you build up characters. Like, this is a great character study of 2 people, Rick Dalton and Cliff Booth. Like, it's just you're following these 2 dudes over like at first a few days into a few months, right? It's just like by the end you give both of the characters. I thought the ending was a bit anticlimactic, but I just really appreciate like being able to take put
Wait,
my
hold
gun
on.
away.
Did you think that we're talking about the ending, like the final?
The final, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the final.
I mean, but I think. Oh, well, I guess we'll get into that.
Yeah. I mean, so the plot is it's 1969 Los Angeles. Rick Dalton, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, he used to be the star of this hit 1950s Western show. Apparently, he's based off of Burt Reynolds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's like what him and Quentin Tarantino were like basing Rick off of. And so he's like this fading star who's essentially just villain of the week on shows. Like that Lancer scene with Timothy Olyphant from Justified is just so fucking good. Like, but you're seeing like Al Pacino's like, is Al Pacino his manager? I didn't quite get a read.
I think Al Pacino wanted to I think was Al Pacino the one who gets him to go to.
He's eventually gets him to go to Italy. Yeah. Remember they had the first scene in the restaurant where he's like, I was watching all your movies. I'm like, you shouldn't be fucking TV, villain of the week, because that's where they send beautiful movie stars to die. Because essentially you're a loser now.
Right.
And they got the new hot guy being the another slinger. Great Al Pacino scene, by the way. Yeah. I don't know why he's never been in the Tarantino movie before.
He's just like old now, so he's like, fuck it.
Well, he's not on their Irishman. Did you see that creepy ass trailer today?
I did. Yeah. I saw.
It's so creepy.
I don't watch trailers on computers.
Okay.
I only watch trailers in the movie theater.
Fair.
Old school.
I
I like being surprised. I still like when I go, oh shit, instead of like, guys, Thursday, noon, Avengers 96 trailer broke all the records. I'm just like, I like being in the. I still like when I'm.
You're probably gonna like this. You like gangster movies, right? Yeah. I mean, it's Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, and Robert De Niro. It's fucking nuts, but they're like younger than they were in Goodfellas, which is really weird.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, they've been doing this for the last few years, and pretty much almost all of the big movies, and it's just like throws me the fuck off.
It's just hysterical that Robert De Niro finally got his wish to play the younger version of himself. He's been trying to do this for decades. Really? He's always been trying to play really, really young roles. You're like, dude, you're like one of the best actors of all time, but you can't de-age yourself. And now like, the technology's there, and he convinced Martin Scorsese to get Netflix to pay $300 million to de-age him.
Is that how much they pay?
It's like one of the most expensive movies ever made.
I mean, it's the return of fucking Joe Pesci too.
I know. I thought he retired.
Yeah, he did.
Why don't act? Some of these actors just kind of need to retire. I don't mean that
Well,
as disrespect, but it's just like it'd be okay if you just kind of like after.
Lance Crowther.
Who?
He's in Pootie Tang.
Oh, okay.
Like, why are you gonna throw out that name? No matter what the fuck he is.
There's a few people there.
But like Clint Eastwood after the Mule, I was like, all right, man, it's over.
I didn't see it.
The Mule was like a Ali versus Holmes kind of like, where it's like this great champion. What the fuck are you even doing in there? This isn't right. Of course, in your prime, you probably would have beaten Larry Holmes, but you're 20 years past.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I get what you're saying.
So, Cliff Booth is Brad Pitt. He is essentially Rick's driver because Rick had a DUI and lost his license. He's drinking up to 8 whiskey sours a night by himself, which is fucking hilarious. And then Cliff Booth is like a stunt man, but doesn't really get gigs because obviously he's a little older. And there's a rumor that he killed his wife, which in the flashback, he definitely killed his wife. He had a harpoon pointing at her chest, like he's gonna shoot her. It's a quick cameo by Rebecca Gayheart from fucking Urban Legend, which was really random. And she's just
I
like,
haven't seen her forever.
yeah, they were like in a boat. Cliff is clearly shit faced. Has a little snorkel mask on a harpoon. She's just like
Rebecca Gayheart, the one that's married to the dude
from Grey's Anatomy.
who's on Euphoria now, right?
I think so. McSteamy, yeah. That's
yeah,
what his name
Eric
is, right?
Dane.
Yeah.
And
She also killed a person.
Well, didn't they get busted? I thought.
She like ran over somebody, right?
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, she had some sort
And I
of.
thought they got busted for like their threesome partner like came out at some point. like
Sure.
like it wasn't like
I mean,
a
you got
cheating scandal. It was more like, yeah, I'm like the chick that like bangs them kind of story.
I mean, you gotta get your goodies out some way after you murder somebody, you know?
Are you thinking about Wendy Williams?
No, is that also happening?
Yeah, that came out.
Oh, jeez. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, she had the vehicular manslaughter thing.
Everybody talks about Laverne Cox, but I think Wendy Williams is probably, I would have to say, the hottest trans woman out there. No? No, am I wrong? I
No, her eyes terrifying.
Oh, okay.
They're like Taraji P. Henson with like alpha softness. Fucking night owl. But yeah, so there's this rumor that Cliff killed his wife, which he probably did.
That was just a joke. I respect all peoples, and I think Wendy Williams is fine. Not that if she were trans, she would not be fine. That's not what I was saying when I said that.
Don't worry, this is a crazy podcast.
She's good, and the LGBTQIA plus people are also good.
Yes.
Plus
it beats all people.
There's
There's fine people on all genders.
So you should just done this whole thing in Trump. That's what you fucking did. Fucked up. And so we also learned that Rick Dalton lives next door to Sharon Tate and her husband Roman Polanski, which, if you're familiar with history, they were Sharon Tate was one of the victims of the Charles Manson murders. Now, I read Helter Skelter, so when I heard that Quentin Tarantino was incorporating the Manson murders into the story, I was really intrigued because I'm like, Tarantino does violence pretty well,
Right.
He does dialogue pretty well. That story is fucking nuts. Charles Manson and his crew taking over that farm and shit and like trying to start a race war. I felt like it wasn't utilized in the way I envisioned, but I did appreciate the way he integrated it into the story.
The idea that you could have a group of white people trying to start a race war and Quentin Tarantino making the movie and not nary one N-word.
Or even like talk about that.
Right.
Don't even have a scene where Charles Manson's talking about his diabolical plan to start a race war.
Yeah.
Which just showed, I don't know if it's restraint or if he just was like, nah. I mean, it's like a whole other story.
I think
Or the editor just cut this. He was just like,
the editor didn't cut shit in this movie.
My theory is that Brad Pitt said, "Sir, I produced Moonlight and 12 Years a Slave. We'll have none of that N-word nonsense."
Oh, that's a fair point, actually. Because he's a producer on, what's Plan B? Or A24.
I forget.
But he does a lot of these, like, pro-black films that he's producing.
he's just like, hey, I adopted about 40 kids from Africa. We can't do this.
My theory on it was, I remember I made this short, stupid video where I was like, I watched Benjamin Button for the first time since I'd seen it in the theater. And
How's it hold up?
I thought it was great. I fell asleep the first time I saw it because I saw like a 10 p.m. show on a Friday at the end of a work week, and I was like, what time is it? 1:30? This shit's still going on. But
And then it turns into a baby, and you're like, oh, fuck.
right. But it was a beautiful movie, and I loved David Fincher. But Mahershala Ali is the guy that finds Brad Pitt in Benjamin Button.
Oh,
like
shit.
he scoops him up out of like he's left on a doorstep somewhere. And I said, that was payback by Brad Pitt. He was like, you saved me in 2008. I'm gonna get you an Oscar in 2016.
I've seen some crazy theories. That holds water. That holds water.
But the Manson thing, this one, and I'll continue. Sorry, I'm making me remember this joke, and I don't know what comic did it. It was, I think, at Comics. You know, that was open briefly. And it was either at an open mic or he was opening for somebody, and I was just in the audience. But he said, Roman Polanski is fascinating. Like, he survived the Holocaust. I think it was he survived it, or his family.
I mean, he's
survived
around
it.
the age where he might have been a
As
kid.
a kid.
Yeah.
I think the thing was he survived the Holocaust or he lost his family in the Holocaust. It was one of those two things.
Because the pianist is about
Right.
that, right? Yeah.
His wife was his wife.
Pregnant wife.
His pregnant wife was murdered by Charles Manson. He raped a 13-year-old and won an Oscar. And then the guy just takes a beat and goes, what I would give to have just one of those things.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Comics, we can't say anything like that anymore.
I thought that was
Yeah.
amazing, and I don't know who it was. I don't know if this is somebody who dabbled and is out, or if it was somebody who was on. But I've always remembered that joke. I just thought that was such a great joke because it is a crazy life. And yes, there were some like surviving the Holocaust and winning an Oscar would be two amazing life things, and then the other two are horrible. But for him to go just one of those things, you know?
Well, I mean, it's just the fact that it's like,
It's a great joke.
he escaped 3 fucking life-changing, well, death is obviously life-changing things.
He's still making movies.
Yeah, he's still
He
fucking
just does them
movies.
international.
Wait, and then on top of
He got
that,
nominated for an Oscar.
which
He won.
is
He won for the pianist.
Yeah.
He couldn't even go to the Oscars.
Dude, the fact that it was even up for debate, it's like, yeah, I mean,
The Pied Piper of teen angles. Sorry.
In this movie, I think that's probably why he had very little dialogue. Like he was present in the movie, but I think that's why Quentin Tarantino was like watching him from like purview, just because the focus is obviously on Sharon Tate to show her innocence, show how much she just wanted to be a star.
but he wanted shining a light on him.
Yeah, and I think he also wanted to take the light away from like her being a victim and not like kind of just showing
She's a survivor.
Yeah.
Except she's not.
Yeah, that's the. I love his revisionist history, but it's also like it's a really sad like if like I'm leaving that movie and I don't know anything about the Charles Manson murders and I actually read about it, I'm gonna be like, holy fuck,
Dude.
But the way they stabbed them, like
Hold on. I was after I finished watching the movie, we're online, and a bunch of articles came up. How true is the actual ending of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? I was just like, oh no, did people not realize that?
Not at all.
yeah, there was a cowboy actor who blowtorched the woman's.
Hey, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's
It's fucking brutal because when they're in the car and Tex says that the character Tex, he's like, Charlie said that we need to like make it wild. So that's why the real victims, they stabbed them all 12 times.
Yeah,
It's
and
brutal.
they wrote pig on the door
Yeah.
in blood because they were trying to blame the Black Panthers party for it.
Yeah.
Is that not who did it?
You really got to do these jokes in trouble.
Them and Antifa.
Antifa went to the Manson people and he said, Mr. Antifa, we call him Mr. Antifa, went and killed a lot of whites, and it was very sad. So, they were very bad people.
It's such a dark thing now. It's such a dark tale you have. Just because he's making it hard for you to make jokes about it anymore. You've literally become a Black Mirror episode.
It doesn't feel good because I'm like, this dude isn't funny.
Yeah.
He's a racist piece of shit, and his followers are trash. I mean, not all of them.
Yeah.
Some of them, no, all of them. As
They're
of today,
terrifying people.
no, as of now, they all suck.
Yeah.
Like in 2016, you can come up with an excuse, but like if you still ride with this dude, you're the worst.
I do want to point out one thing while we're talking about dirtbags. I found it interesting that Emily Hirsch is in this movie as like part of the Emil Hirsch as part. Thank you. As part of the Sharon Tate, Roman Polanski love triangle. What's his character? Is the actor's name? It's like Jay Sebring or something. Like that.
Sebring.
Is he real?
He's one of the real victims.
Oh, he was murdered.
Yeah, he was murdered. Because I recall Emil being blackballed from Hollywood because he punched a female producer in the face at Sundance. Yeah, he was like really drunk and apparently like just straight up like knocked her in the face and like went to jail and shit. Wow. It was like a Hollywood producer and I hadn't heard about that kid for a long time. He pops up with Tarantino movie like, hey!
Must have been somebody Tarantino didn't like.
In the Me Too era, he probably just said, guys, I've got good news. I've never sexually
Now, interesting about that guy. So there's random Bruce Lee all over this film.
Yes.
That guy, that Jay Sebring, whatever, he actually discovered Bruce Lee in real life.
Oh, that's like
he actually saw him at the Long Beach tournament where he's doing like the 1-inch punch and all that kind of shit. He actually saw him there, became his student, introduced him to Sharon Tate, who actually taught her martial arts on the film, in this movie that she went to the movie theater to watch. Mm-hmm. Who then introduced Bruce to Roman Polanski, who actually took him to fucking Switzerland on a trip, bought for him the yellow jumpsuit that he's famous for. Oh, shit. But they actually never made a movie together or anything like that. He actually was trying to put him in something, never happened. After Sharon Tate was murdered, Roman Polanski said, I think it's Bruce Lee. Because he's the only person that I know that can go out and murder 4 people with his bare hands like that. And then the police investigated in real life Bruce Lee, and they're just like, nope, it's actually the Manson family. How crazy is that?
That was a helter skelter, but holy shit.
Wow.
I would have loved to read the deposition of Bruce Lee about the death of Sharon Tate.
Think about your Bruce Lee is just like, wait, what?
I will say that's probably one of my favorite Quentin Tarantino scenes, like ever, that he wrote with that actor that plays Bruce Lee and Cliff. Because when he's doing that braggadocious, like, I fight people, and it's like, I mean, that's not in the trailer, but he's like, if I were to get in a fight with you and I still kill you, I would go to jail. And then Brad Pitt's like, anyone kills anyone in a fight, they go to jail. It's called manslaughter. What are we talking about? And then he throws him into a car, which is awesome.
Other than the fact is, if you're a Bruce Lee fan, you just kind of just like, the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
But what if he was a little bitch though backstage?
No, but Bruce Lee was a bad fucking dude.
But that's what this whole movie's about. It's like how vulnerable actors really are. Like they play.
Yeah.
Sounds like because Rick Dalton. This is what I love about Leo is that he's so vulnerable, like as Rick Dalton, and he's got the stutter. He's got that great kudos on the actual Southern accent. I thought that was like he was acting in another scene. I was like, oh no, this is like actually his character. Which, quick aside, is that supposed to be like lineage of Calvin Candy? You think? Because Quentin Tarantino does that weird shit with like the universe. I wonder if Rick Dalton might be like part of the lineage of Calvin Candy down the line.
Remind me who Calvin Candy is.
Django Unchained, the villain.
Oh, with yeah.
Because he had a similar.
And DiCaprio did go like N-bombs and full racist in.
So good.
No, I know. I'm saying
like
so he wouldn't have been the problem. That's why I suggested it was Pitt. This guy is like, there's already been plenty of video of me doing this.
Yeah, and Pitt and Glorious Bastards was in the scene with the N-bombs drops. That's all pure journalism.
They're like, okay, that's a wrap on Brad. Good work.
Okay, guys, let's get to work. Brad's after road. Let's open up the textbooks. Swamp Ranger. Knuckle Dragger.
Wait, what did you all think of like Rick? Let's talk about Rick and then we'll talk about Cliff. Like, what did you guys think of Rick Dalton's story? About him like doing this TV of the week thing, being on set, like being like talking to that little girl about acting and the art of acting. Like, just what were your general thoughts on that? Because this movie is pretty straightforward. We're just following 2 dudes, and we'll just talk about each of the stories.
I feel like the whole movie in general. Maybe I'm wrong, but they kind of lay it on thick early that it's going to be like the hero is going to be the stuntman, like the guy who doesn't get the credit, the guy. It's really that guy who makes things happen. I don't know if this was Quentin Tarantino sort of saying, I like actors, I like movies, but they're a bunch of bitches. It's really the guys behind the scenes. Maybe that's his way of also like stuntmen, also writers and people like that, really are the ones who make the movies what they are. So I felt like DiCaprio, is entertaining because he's DiCaprio, but he's obviously a very selfish person. I was just struck by the only thing that struck me in this movie. I was like, tell me Leonardo DiCaprio in 1969. I mean, even a guy who looks like Leonardo DiCaprio and lives in the hills in 1969. No puss. Like that was missing. I mean, he wanted to make it obviously the buddy movie. The bromance is kind of the vibe, but still, it was like no parties, no just random.
I mean,
not that that's mad.
He was kind of the thing though. He was on the outskirts. Remember, he wasn't even invited to parties. That's why he was so like, I'm living next to fucking Roman Polanski and shit. Because actually that night they go out to the Playboy Mansion, so it showed the difference in their nightlife. Because he's at home drinking, listening to rehearsal tapes.
Oh yeah, that's
drinking
true.
whiskey sours while they're out dancing.
That's
Marlo Robbie's over here.
So he did make that intentional, right? Yeah. That was, and I'm looking at it from a modern day perspective, where like any G-lister is like getting hit up in their DMs by some Instagram.
Not necessarily.
First thought.
I think people were way more exclusive back then.
Yeah.
Based on everything I read about Hollywood and New York and stuff, I think they were way more selective than they could be. Why they could really be like questionable. You wouldn't be called out for being racist or sexist,
right?
Or like homophobic if you like excluded certain people from your club. That's just like this is my fucking club. So.
Now, how old was DiCaprio supposed to be in this movie? So this is the 60s, but he used to do the old westerns. Yeah. And like in the westerns, that was like 40s, 50s type.
I think he was 50s.
Okay, so he's in the 50s. This is the late 60s. So he has
mid 40s.
Mid 40s.
Yeah, I don't think he was playing much older.
So he's at least like maybe 10 to 15 years into his career.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like, because of that, and he'd probably be on the outside, of the Playboy lifestyle.
Yeah, Sharon Tate was pretty young. Like, and they actually they showed in that film that she's watching when it's her. Yeah. That's actual real Sharon Tate, which I thought was sweet, and I was like, but why does Tarantino have a weird affinity for this actress? Like, it's about her story.
But that's the thing. That's everyone. It's always cited as like her death was like the change in Hollywood. So this was
loss of innocence, right?
Yeah. So it's like this is when old Hollywood completely ended, and everybody was just like, "Holy shit, what the fuck?" So like, I think this whole movie is like an ode to old Hollywood. So why not go to really shine a light on the person who was basically the catalyst for everything shit.
I see what you were saying. I know we're talking about Leo, about her innocence, but I also I don't know why, when she went to the movie theater and was like, she's in the movies and she's like asking to get comped like a 75-cent ticket. Let's just say that was $10 back then, but I'm like, it to me struck me again like kind of a shallow celebrity thing of like, I want to be recognized and like
pure kind of, because she puts her feet up in the movie theater. She puts her open feet up, and so you see feet throughout. Yeah, it's a nightmare. My wife hates like white people's feet. Like for some reason, like she just like it makes her so uncomfortable. On the beach, she freaks out. She has like anxiety.
All feet don't matter.
So this is like an anxiety. Like she was like freaking out while all the the medicine arm, all the feet. And I was like, what is the symbolism of the feet? Like, because Tarantino usually has close-ups of feet, but I was like, in this one, obviously, like with the girl in the car with Cliff, there's like symbolism there. And so it's like, maybe it's like to show that white people were like back in the time were just like all about their utilizing their privilege and like but still like nasty.
You really didn't have anything to go
I didn't have any.
But Tarantino's just like, I like feet.
That's what I was thinking. Like Tarantino's like
you said feet twice. I like
feet. Put them feet up there. Yeah, that's right. There you go, Margot. Get the feet a little bit closer to the camera. I mean, it also could just be. It's like when you're walking around with your shoes on, it just seems like you have no care in the fucking world. You're not worried about stepping on broken glass, fucking syringes. There's not a rock in sight.
But she did care though. That's the thing. She was like, I want to see people how how they react to my.
No.
I
We're
thought
talking about.
I'm talking about Sharon Tate.
No, we're talking about. But there's a thing. Like, if you're walking around with no shoes on, there's no danger in your life. Because you. No, but that's what I'm saying. You're not worried about that. But he didn't want to be walking around with no damn shoes on. You know what I'm saying? But there's no danger. So you're not worried about anything. Because if you're worried about shit, you're gonna lace up them fucking shoes and you're gonna be ready to run.
True. Okay, I mean, I guess since we're talking about Sharon Tate right now, Margot Robbie, beautiful actress. Robbie. I'm terrible.
You realize that Brandon has a speech impediment. He can't say people's names.
That's not a speech impediment. That's like an actual like brain. It's a brain.
Oh, is it?
It's gotta be, right?
That's what you're gonna use.
Is that a process?
Go with it. All right. Go with it, Brandon.
You're an asshole. You know? Oh, your kid can't pronounce nothing.
Yo, niggas have been getting on you with your.
You think that helps me still pronounce names and words better? No. Just because people are trolling me on Twitter, it's not gonna make me pronounce names better. You fucking assholes. Give me like some help. Oh, Patreon, fucking insurance, and I got paid.
Dude, she is a famous fucking actress. You can go online, type in her name, and then you'll come up with a damn interview where somebody says her name the right way. You can
Why
get
don't I
past
like
all
pull her up and just hear her name? I'm trying to pull up the scene from Wolf of Wall Street, bro.
Anyhow, Brandon, go ahead.
So fucking Sharon Tate. I'm just gonna say Sharon Tate.
Margot Robbie.
Why did we need to have her play Sharon Tate? I get it that she looks like a very Hollywood, prettier version of the real Sharon Tate. It could have been any actress though. Like, she was barely in the movie.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it made no sense to me.
Let's be honest. The poster should be Pitt and DiCaprio. Like,
yes.
Her as this like third lead. Nah.
Yeah, she's barely in it for 20 minutes.
And
that's me being very generous.
And considering the fact that she doesn't get murdered, she's not even consequential if you think about it.
Yeah, she's not even fighting. I thought they were gonna have to do a badass like she fights them.
Right.
Yeah, as a pregnant woman, but no. She literally just comes out like she's speaking to him through the intercom at the end, and then they hug in person. So it's like we don't even really see her doing like the coolest part of the movie.
I think it's she's a symbol. She's just a symbol in this movie. They're using her.
But again, they didn't need to get Margot to do that.
Yeah, but at the same time, they could have got anybody to play Al Pacino's role. Everybody wants to do the fucking Tarantino role. So it's just like,
what if his 10th movie is a sequel and it's all about Polanski getting his dick cut off by a 13-year-old?
I wouldn't hate it.
I would like it better than his last movie being Star Trek.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, what?
Remember, he wrote an R-rated. He's working on an R-rated script for Star Trek.
Yeah.
Oh, Quentin Tarantino.
Yes. Yeah.
I was literally going, Roman Polanski. I'm not kidding. That's why I was pausing. I was like, Roman Polanski's around Star Trek. He's all the way back.
Captain Kirk lands on Nebula 9 and fucks all the 2-year-olds.
Is this your daughter, Ahura? I don't know why I said that like Trump.
We gotta get back
not too far off.
We gotta get back to Rick Dalton, right? So Rick, we follow Rick being dropped off on the set by Cliff. Mm-hmm. He's going to be a villain of the week on this show called Lancer, which starred Timothy Oliphant. In that scene we see him work with Luke Perry, R.I.P. I got that name right, you sons of bitches. And he meets this actress who's like a 10-year-old girl who in the show she's being held hostage. And so he's like talking. Her name's Trudy, right?
I forget.
Yeah, but she has this long monologue about.
His movies are like Game of Thrones to me. Like I gotta see them a few times before I'm like, oh yeah, okay, now I remember who like the name.
What did you all think of that scene with the little girl talking about acting? And she's they're having this little banter.
Classic Tarantino. That's what I thought, and I mean that in a good way, obviously. But it was just that sort of hallmark style of his.
The whole time you're kind of like, where's the payoff for this? And then it comes when you see Leo throughout the day just like going through emotional upheaval, trying to get his lines. When he forgets his lines during that one close up of him, he's like spitting, he's trying to get like amped up. I laughed so hard, dude. That's like this is a genuine laugh. It's not one of those Marvel like everyone's sarcastic.
Right.
And so I'm gonna chuckle. It's like an actual belly laugh. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, Leo's got good comedy timing, man.
Yeah.
I wonder if has he ever done like he's never done like a full on comedy.
No. Wolf of Wall Street's probably the closest
Yeah.
we'll ever
And
get.
Catch Me If You Can is also that kind of whimsical
Yeah.
drama.
And he was just silly. It wasn't even like Wolf of Wall Street. He was genuinely like physically funny. I was like, holy fuck.
I'm not leaving.
It's a great monologue. It's a great scene.
I'm not leaving.
It should be Matthew McConaughey. But anyways, but yeah. So he does this time on set, and then at the end of that scene, that whole long scene, the little girl's like, "That's the best acting I've ever seen in my life," and he's just fucking dancing, man.
But it was
That's the
good.
payoff.
Like
That's
it
the
was,
payoff.
it actually was like a good scene.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to see like the movie as the show, and
Right.
it's just. I got it. And like, growing up watching westerns with my grandfather, he still watches it, even though I don't think he can really change the channel. You know what I mean?
Is that Thundercrack?
Yeah.
The basis of Thundercrack?
Okay. I'll post this on Patreon. I did a video for JL Cauvin. I played this guy named Thundercrack Malcolm. He was like this age comedian, even though he was just like me now. And I talked to like my grandfather, which is such a Mr. T.
And in a nice synergy, I had Mike Brown play the young you. In like the next episode, it was Mike Brown, like a big fro in like the late 60s.
But it was also like, what happened to the rest of Thundercrack's height?
Well, we didn't see the height, unfortunately.
I know, but it was
kind of
kind of slumped over.
I'm old.
So yeah, we see Rick Dalton in the set, and we just follow him in the life of an actor for a day, right?
Mhm.
And then for Rick's story, we jump 6 months later. He's done all these movies in Italy because like his role in that show is really popular. He also has like an FBI cameo, and so he's picking up some steam, even though it's international, so he's not getting paid the big Hollywood bucks. But Al Pacino looked him up, and he's getting gigs here and there, and he gets married to this really smoking hot Italian actress. They come back to LA, and Sharon Tate, she's some neighbor, she's pregnant, and we see like Leonardo interacting with the hippies being sent by the Manson family to murder Sharon Tate, but he has this whole thing like, "You goddamn hippies, get out of my house," and they're like, "That's Rick Dalton. Why don't we kill the people that showed us violence when we were kids?" Like referring to his 1950 show, and so they actually target his house instead of Sharon Tate's house, which is the revisionist history. And that's when we can now jump to Cliff's story.
And Rick Dalton definitely goes on to be like a leader of the NRA, like when he hits like 70, 75.
It's like Charlton Heston, like
like
dementia.
a bad, an unsuccessful Charlton Heston.
The way that's actually. I'm not allowed to talk about Charlton Heston.
I still feel bad for Charlton Heston.
Bone for Columbine too. That was not fair.
Right, because
He
he's like
was-
basically he can't kind of fully defend himself.
Hey,
at
he
that
didn't know where he
point.
was.
And then
One of the worst, like, are you gonna talk about the bullets? And he's just like, I don't know what day I am. It's like, what? Ugh.
and I thought the Oscars, because he was a legendary actor, not just kind of like I think he was a 2-time Oscar winner, but he was in so many fucking epics. And they were like, Ben-Hur, 10 Commandments, Planet of the Apes, like, and they were silent during his face coming up. And this was before they were like, everybody don't clap till the end. This was when people would clap, like, oh, we know that person. And they were just like, fuck him, he likes guns. And I was like, man, I don't like guns either, but like, dude never hurt anybody himself, and he made a shit ton of legendary work. But that's the beginning of the PC culture, bro.
Yeah, I mean, things are fucking weird now.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what happens with Brad Pitt's character in this movie, too. Things get fucking weird. I'm just trying to segue.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's actually pronounced Brad Pitt.
Best abs for a 55-year-old man. I still got it.
I'm not gonna lie. Once you see Fight Club and Troy, and I say this is somebody who used to be jacked that is now fucking a big pile of shit. Once you see Fight Club, which was like the fully lean, like the
Was he
abs-
later than Snatch in Fight Club?
Was he more jacked?
He was more jacked.
Yeah,
Yeah, because he was like, he had literally found I remember an ex of mine that I was dating, that was like our favorite movie solely because of Brad Pitt in Fight Club. He had maxed out how big you could be without being bulky.
Yeah.
Dude, it was literally like 203 pounds is the maximum weight I can have until I start looking like a safety for a football team.
Yeah, he was lean and mean.
Oh, but then Troy, he was like, "Fuck it, we're playing free safety now."
Yeah. Let's go.
They had fucking P90X in ancient times, right?
Sean T pops out. Let's go, guys.
But he looks good. Like now, I can appreciate he looks.
When he was on the roof, like fixing like Rick's satellite and shit, like.
But it's still to me. I was like, instead of going, "Wow," for 55 minutes, I'm just like, "Man, you lost it too." All relative. But I'm like, man, we're having a fight club.
Yeah, I mean,
but that was 20 years ago. That's what
he did look weathered. He definitely does look weathered, but I think it works really well for his character.
Yeah.
Like,
but
he lives in a fucking trailer serving his dog. And I'm pretty sure he's eating that dog food too. Like, I know he made.
Well, at the end, he tastes it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he made I know he made the little mac and cheese. You know, on a rough day when he's had enough beer, he definitely eats some of that dog shit.
That's what you gotta do. You gotta do.
What kind of dog do you have again? Pitbull, right?
Yeah.
Dolly.
Rough.
But as far as like
they're dogs of peace, the same way I call Islam a religion of peace. Pitbulls are a breed of peace. No, I have a joke I've never been able to fully work out for good reason. Where I'm like, you ever notice there's liberal people who talk about, like, after a terror attack and a pit bull attack, they basically talk about it in the same way. Like, it depends how you raise it. It's not the religion. It's a distortion. It's not the breed. It's who has the... In other words, I hope nobody ever hears me compare the great religion of Islam to a vicious breed of dog. It's the whole point. I think dogs are great, and I think Islam is a wonderful religion of peace.
Again, you have to say that as Trump.
No, because he'd be going, well, pit bulls, if I had to pick, I'd rather a pit bull than an Islam because a pit bull won't bomb your Christian church.
The fact that you said, I'd rather a pit bull than an Islam. An Islam extremist.
It's called radical Muslim.
So the reason why Brad Pitt's character ends up at the Spawn Movie Ranch, which is actually a real place, it's really where Charles Manson pretty much he would take he took it over with his whole coven.
Incredible tense scene.
Yeah, and they're all getting high on acid. That's how he pretty much converted people. He would get them fucked up on acid, make them tell him very vulnerable things, and then initiate them into the crew. But it's majority women that were homeless, have been abandoned by their families. That's why they're Lena Dunham, and in fact, one of these people is played by Lena Dunham. Here's the thing, though. It was kind of creepy. Brad Pitt.
She was still doing dumpster diving. She wasn't as lean as those other homeless chicks.
Well, the reason it's so weird that the reason why Brad Pitt's character gets there is because he keeps running into this one girl who definitely was really young. Ended up having very hairy armpits, which was
Wasn't that a killer?
It's a thing. It's a thing now. I mean, it was a thing back then as well. I mean, these are fucking wayward people.
But how bad? Because I was like, she's actually probably in real life. I was thinking in real life she's probably a little too skinny. The cameras just made it kind of perfect.
Yeah,
but then she was just arm back, and I was like,
yeah. When she leans back,
I recently saw this girl, and beautiful girl, and then she lifted up her arm. I was just like, nope, absolutely not. It's that would have grossed me out if I was a single man and be out there on the prowl.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got junk, that's negotiable, but pit hair, no. Okay, I'm only so modern.
But
can we just say, so they're driving, and she goes, hey, you want me to give you a blowjob? And he's just like, how old are you? That man's modern day fucking sane. Because I don't know many that today that would have been how old are you? No.
Yeah, she's it'd be a mood killer, bud. And I'm like, oh my god, like that turns you off. It's like, hey, I just want to make sure you're legal.
Get your ass to Euphoria.
But he drives her back to the ranch because she's been hitchhiking and stuff. And he also has Rick's dope ass car. And that's when we have this really tense scene of like, clearly there's something not right on this ranch. They got fucking poor Bruce Dern. Originally supposed to be played by not Bruce Willis, Burt Reynolds before he died. Bruce Dern is the owner of.
It's actually pronounced Bruce Dern.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds. Unique New York.
And ribs.
And so they're all like, oh, well, you know, he's sleeping because he's trying to like talk to Bruce Dern's character. They're like, he's sleeping. And then we get fucking Dakota Fanning looking rough. Does she look like that now, or do they do that makeup? I guess that's makeup. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe not.
That's not too natural for me. She looked like a little like pudgy and really like unhealthy pale.
It's called thick. 2 C's, that's what the kids say.
I mean, Brandon, if you saw her in real life like that, again, you're not a married man, you're a single man. Are you turning it down?
Yeah.
Probably not. Let's be honest, Brandon.
She had like fucking like anger in her eyes, but that's what Tarantino did right, is the intensity of this group. They were like, when they would stare at you, like they freaked people out throughout LA.
Yeah.
Because people didn't know who they were, they were like fucking scavengers. But they were like so intense with like their violence that like it made people. So when she's like going at Brad Pitt, like he's like, you know, I don't want to wake him up because I watch TV, and then he's like, I'm gonna come into the house whether.
I was convinced he was going to get shot on that doorstep.
Yeah. So
because I didn't know how. Brad Pitt in the movie, he's going to get top billing even if he ends up dying with an hour left in the movie. So I wasn't like, no, he's going to make it till the end. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. So I was very happy he made it out.
in my mind, I
Beat
was
the shit out of that
watching.
dude, slash his tires, dude. That was great.
Yeah, I love that.
Big shit.
Yeah, dude.
Had text over here. They didn't give him like fucking fake ass tours, and he had this one dude trying to catch up to him on the horse. But yeah, it was an interesting scene, just like seeing Brad Pitt like see this group and be like, I know something's not right, and I'm still gonna fucking try to scope this out. Like,
Yeah, I was just like, but it showed, I think, also that he was clearly that whole scene. The gist of it is, he's bad, he's fearless, but that he's also there's some good. He refuses the blowjob from the underage girl. I mean, I don't want to make that like that's hey, here's a medal, but like.
No, that's a medal. That's a medal.
And then he's looking after this guy he used to know just to make sure he's like all right.
Yeah, like they weren't close or anything. He just happened to do some films on the ranch. So he's just like, I'm just checking in on you. I mean, even when he gets fired by Leo when they come back from Europe, because Leo's like, I can't afford you as my driver or assistant, whatever the fuck you are, and he's just like, okay, well, let's have a night of drinking, and then we'll part ways. And I think that's what comes with like the whole backstory about like he couldn't kill his wife and being in the army. I think he's just like, I'm gonna come as it goes kind of guy because I'm not in jail.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, and then when the girl was in scars, it's like I've dodged jail a ton of times in my life, and I'm not gonna let it get me because of you. It's like no offense.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that big Jeffrey Epstein energy.
Yeah. He's not sandustying it.
And one quick note about the girl that he picks up, she does some acid cigarettes for 75 cents.
No, that's a different chick.
That was a different chick?
That was just some random chick.
Yeah.
It was like they cut
Oh,
to
I
it.
thought it was the same girl. Okay. Got it. Because that comes into play the last night when they're getting shit-faced. They go back to Rick Dalton's house.
See, but that's the thing. They made to trump Brad Pitt up, in the movie, his character. That's why they did the Bruce Lee scene. It's just like he's such a fucking badass that he took down Bruce Lee. So everyone's just like, you imagine it's like, yeah, it's the thing at the end. You're like, oh, Brad Pitt's gonna fucking stop this shit. He's gonna beat everybody the fuck down. But then,
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even think of that.
yeah, that's the whole
Creates the oh shit, this might go badly for our hero because he's now tripping on acid. It's kind of like how they had to kill one of the 2 reigning dragons in Game of Thrones because if Khaleesi rolled in with 2 dragons, that's it.
Yeah.
The show's up like we don't have to have 3 more episodes. They had to just randomly kill one because then it's like, ooh, now she's only got 1.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean when they come to the house and Rick's
I
in the
miss Game
pool.
of Thrones. Sorry.
Rick's in the pool. He's like listening to rehearsal tapes, or he's listening to music.
Yeah, listen to music.
Yeah, he's listening to music, shit faced. And then because
Get a pina colada.
oh yeah, like really loudly. His wife is sleeping. He's just like, "Grr," but doesn't give a fuck. Then Cliff goes for a walk with his dog. And he's like, "I'm gonna smoke this cigarette," because like he had Leonardo DiCaprio keep it in like a cigarette box when they went to Europe.
Because he didn't want to get fucked. No, well, the main reason he's like, I don't want to get high walking around. He lives in like Hollywood, like by Hollywood. No.
By the sign, right?
Yeah, I thought it was by the sign, but
Yeah,
they had the drive-in theater.
There's a lot of long scenes of driving in this movie, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like Grand Theft Auto.
It really was. It was like GTA 5. You're driving in real time. There's no time skip. You're just
A
like,
bald guy in a dirty shirt comes out. Hey there! Get the fuck away from my trailer!
but yeah, this guy texts, and two other girls are there. Because one fucking boots it when she fakes that she left her weapon in the car, and she just takes the car away. And
So, in actuality, that was the girl who's supposed to be a watch out. Who actually testified against all of the people who committed the murder.
oh yeah, like, all those names are real. Those are supposed to be real people. Texas like he was the leader of that group.
Yeah.
And Brad Pitt and his dog wreck shop, and it was
So about like
great.
DMX.
Yeah,
he stopped, dropped, something down. Opened
Now there's a lot of controversy about the violence towards women in this movie because of the way he does fuck them up.
But you know
But it's
what?
also like,
You know these women murdered people, right?
Yeah.
So that's okay.
Yeah, 'cause
You know these women murdered a 9-month pregnant woman, killing her and her 9-month-old baby. Fuck it.
I know because there's some complaints like Hateful Eight, but it's also like, yeah, they beat the shit out of her, and she also did like a 20-minute N-word rant. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she kind of deserves to die.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. There's probably a lot of people out there probably wearing MAGA hats that like on the 6th head slam of a woman by Brad Pitt probably got a little hard.
Okay.
So it's like you don't want to cross over. You're like, yeah, get her, and then on that 6th and 7th, you're like, you either like go, all right, that's enough, or you go, oh yeah.
I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then that one girl, she's all fucked up because the dog's biting her. She jumps into the pool, scared the fuck out of Leonardo. Great comedy reaction, by the way. And then his response is, fucking commies. And he goes into his shed and gets on the blowtorch from earlier in the beginning of the movie. From the very beginning of the movie and torches the fuck out of her. Which is a great scene when he's like doing like the practice. You know, show why he needs a stunt double. Right. And he's like blowing the torch. He's like, oh, it's too hot. Can you do anything about that?
He's like, it's a fucking blowtorch.
It's like, no, we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it was, thinking back now, because of course you're like, well, this woman's a crazy killer with a gun. But that, at the same time, you're kind of like, yeah, but the Leo character, if it was just a random homeless hippie who had like wandered into his house, maybe even without a gun, he might have still torched, he might have still flamethrower.
Bringing those street germs in here.
Yeah. We never have to answer that question, but his reaction to them was so forceful early on that like, he seems like, you know, like he might have just done it anyway.
And that comes out with the blowtorch initially.
And it's kind of going to what you said about like, you know, people behind the scenes are actually the heroes, but then the ones that are like the most vocal up front are the ones that always get the accolades. Because Brad Pitt ends up going to the hospital because he gets back in his style, but he's just like so it doesn't really phase him at the moment. I mean, he does pass out for a second, but you know, he's leaving the ambulance, and Rick's like, "You're a good friend, Cliff." He's like, "Yep." And then that's when fucking JC ran is like, "What happened, man?" He's like, "Oh, this goddamn commies trying to come in, we had to fucking torch him, and we had to kill him." And you're like, "That's crazy. You want to come talk to us?" Because at the beginning of the movie, he's like, "What I would give to like be in that circle."
Yeah.
And then he's part of the in crowd again, and then the movie ended. I remember at first being like, "Huh." And then I actually thought about it. I was like, "Oh wait, no, I actually like this movie."
I enjoy it. There's no Tarantino movie I don't enjoy. That's the thing about it. Is that it's like you can rank them and think some are good, but they're all, off the top of my head, they're all very entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had somebody try to tell me that Jackie Brown was their favorite, and I said, get the fuck out of my face.
That actually, that might be his worst one.
Yeah, I probably have it as his worst
Yeah.
one. But they're all entertaining. I mean, he's on this weird sort of, I feel like he's gone in phases like that of things. Like his first three were like his most original, like the style. That's like the Tarantino style. Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown. Then he does like his Kung Fu homage because he's a huge fan of those movies. And I liked both Kill Bills.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so good.
And now he's on this like, what if history worked out the way I'd like it to? You know, you Inglourious Bastards, Django, Hateful Eight, and now this. So,
Well, Hateful Eight doesn't really touch on history; it's just a western.
no, it's still who wins at the end of that one?
No one. They all die.
Everybody.
Remember, they all die because Walton Goggins gets a shot. He's bleeding.
Walton
out.
Goggins and Samuel Jackson are the
They're
last
both,
two
they're both
talking,
bleeding
right?
out. Yeah, they're they're last talking, but they're both bleeding
Okay.
out. And they're snowed in. So remember, Samuel Jackson's like, we're both gonna die out here.
Oh, so that's like it's like a Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, they all die.
Yeah.
Justin, break down our rating system, man.
All right. Well, you know how we rate movies? Bags of popcorn, small, medium, large, and XL for the exceptional. The movie doesn't deserve any popcorn. Throw it to the dog shit pile. So,
Pretzel bites, bitch. No, I actually like pretzel bites. But
So JL, we watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. What say you?
enlarged popcorn.
any good reason?
Can I get a drink with that?
In
You
the
wanna select
9 films of Quentin Tarantino, where would you rank this?
And I don't mean this as an insult. It's in the bottom half.
Okay.
So it's in the bottom four, maybe at the top of the bottom four. Because I just off the top of my head, like I know the top four.
Okay.
Reservoir Dogs, not in this order, but Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Inglourious Django. Those are my four favorites. Jackie Brown, Hateful Eight is probably like 9-8. So then it's just where does it land with the Kill Bills? You know, so I might have both Kill Bills ahead because I kind of treat them like one story. So, but I don't. But once again, to say like it's my 6th favorite or 7th favorite, I don't mean that as it's.
Another
like
material. Another material. Too.
Right.
Like, to have 9 really solid films, they're
Yeah.
all different. Right. It's impressive. Justin, what's your rating?
I'm going to give this a large, even though I was a little bit upset about the Bruce Lee thing. But, you know, I get why he did it within the movie. Yeah, it was large. I think I thought it was shot really well. Acted, I mean, Leo.
They're both going to get nominated.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to.
But if
if
only one, if it ends up being a competitive year by the end of the year, I think Pitt gets the nomination. I think they push Pitt over DiCaprio. A, because he hasn't won, and B, because I think if you had to pick one, I think Pitt would be the one.
Yeah, because his character arc, well, it wasn't that much of an arc. It was kind of
As
it was
a
a
resident
linear.
with Leo's character, but I think going back to JL, like paying his dues, and like he's never won, and like he does have a more interesting character.
Yes.
I think that he would get that.
But that's the thing. It's like he doesn't have an arc. It's more of like it's just kind of linear. Like he's just on. He's a steady character. But his character, it's like you said, it's really interesting, and it's like he's kind of like the meat and potatoes of the movie in a sense.
The dog, food, and potatoes.
I'm also going to give it a large, really solid. It was a nice departure from a lot of the shit we've been seeing this summer. Like some good, some terrible. So it's just good to see an adult film that did something different. It's still, I think, 25 to 30 minutes too long, but Tarantino loves what he wants to put on screen. So I trust every frame. I think some of the controversy about things that have happened and stuff like that's a little weird, but in regards to like the treatment of all women and like black people being upset that there is like no controversy about the N word, which is kind of strange. But at this point, like you either like his movies or you don't. You don't have to see it. You don't have to write blogs about it. Just see the movie if you want to see it. If not,
I mean, is there any black people in this movie?
Maybe in the background.
Yeah,
Maybe in the background. I think the closest thing we had a person of color was the Mexicans. Like, don't cry in front of the Mexicans.
I do think that it's funny that he's replaced racism towards black people for like Indians and Mexicans. Because in Django and not in Django, Hateful Eight, he had mad Mexican jokes, and this one he had a lot of jokes about Native Americans.
But if you think about it, it would kind of make sense, for the setting of those movies because this is set in California. What are Californians dealing with? Mexicans. So that's their thing. The Westerns, in the Westerns, you have Native Americans and you have Mexicans. That's who was the villain, quote unquote. So it makes sense.
No Samuel L. Jackson in this one.
Yeah, that was a bit surprising too. I thought he would have at least like some kind of cameo or something.
So
I'm sure Quentin's whipping up something big for him with his last movie.
Hold on.
I would not be surprised if Quentin brings back like a monster cast from his last movie.
Hold on. Last movie, if he does Star Trek, Samuel Jackson, the nigga with the fucking white glasses, the Cyclops looking glasses, that would kill me.
Oh, is it Star Trek: The Next Generation?
We don't know. I heard it's supposedly written for the new cast with Chris Pine cast, but
oh, right.
I don't know. But JL, how can people follow you? And what's going on?
The obituary page probably is your best chance to find me coming up. I'm a big man with nothing to live for, so either the heart or the brain will get out of here. So New York Times obituary column. And also jlcomedy.com is my website where you can check out my podcast, Making Podcasts Great Again, and my albums and the dates that I haven't booked.
Justin?
Guys, you can follow me at JBrownDinner on Twitter and Instagram. Brandon?
You guys can follow me at AmericanCounts.com. Follow the show at Medium P Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. And come out to our live show on Friday, August 30th at Cauvin. We're reviewing Con Air. It's going to be dope as fuck. Ticket links are on all of our social media, as well as my website, AmericanCounts.com. Hope to see you all in New York City. Also, if you're not in New York City, buy some swag at tpublic.com/mediapopcorn or sign up for Patreon. I told y'all we need help with our pronunciation, and I need some hooked on phonics.
No, Brandon needs help.
We need help.
No, Brandon needs help.
Sign up for patreon.com/mediapopcorn, and you also get a shout out from The Rock or Idris Elba, depending on who I want to invite to my house.
Or the Macho Man Randy Savage, the ghost of the Macho Man Randy Savage.
All right, JL, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you.
That's your warning. So